JBNN will keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones, and in the news, 8-year-old girl abducted from school in Portmore, throat slashed. An 8-year-old girl was left for dead Thursday after she was abducted from school and her throat slashed. The girl, a student of Brayton Primary in Portmore, St. Catherine, was taken from the institution in a motor car, transported to Vineyard Town in St. Andrew, and thrown from the vehicle. Information received is that the child was found by passers-by and rushed to hospital, where she has since been admitted. Police have confirmed the incident, but are yet to establish a motive for the abduction and attempted murder. Mayor of Portmore, Leon Thomas, says the grade 2 student that was left for dead after she was abducted from school and her throat slashed is a reflection of the dark days and heartless criminal activities taking place in the municipality. Mayor of Portmore, Leon Thomas, speaking to reporters this morning.
Well, inside the school is a very somber mood. A lot of the students did not turn up for class this morning, especially the grade 2 class that the little girl belongs to. We have a lot of representatives from the Ministry of Education and other schools within Portmore. The guidance department are giving support to the school at this time. So, based on report that we are getting, that the little girl is in the hospital. She has gone through operation and she is now recovering. I'm hoping that she will fully recover. The mood here in Portmore, we have seen where we have a lot of crime taking place in Portmore, and the cloud that hung over now is just representing those dark days of Portmore. It is a really sad occasion. It's a heartless operations or events that they carried out yesterday to slash an 8-year-old child's throat and leave her to die. I am wondering if that person have any brother, any sister, or any heart at all to carry out such a gruesome act. I'm appealing to all the schools and residents, parents within the municipality, to be your brother's keeper. Look out for the children, because when someone can go to a school and do something like that, what left for them? It is just time when it will become knocking at other people's door.
Man killed, woman injured in Stony Hill, St. Andrew. The heavy downpour of rain did not deter gunmen from executing a man and shooting a woman in the head about 3:30 p.m. while they worked at a house in Stony Hill, St. Andrew, Thursday afternoon. The dead man has been identified as 30-year-old Ricardo Johnson, otherwise called Lizard, a resident of Lacey District in Cavaliers, St. Andrew. The injured woman is 54 years old. It was reported that the two were working inside a concrete structure under repair when the two men armed with handguns entered. They were there working and the rain come down. I mean, bam, 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 and thought it was the hammer beat the zinc. Rain was heavy, and so most people didn't even know what was happening until the rain subsided a while after, a resident said. Police said the men fired shots, hitting Johnson all over his upper body. The woman was hit in the left eye and the right side of her face. The gunmen then made their escape on foot in the area, the police said. Upon the arrival of the authorities, Johnson was seen lying motionless in a pool of blood. The injured woman was assisted by a motorist to hospital, which was admitted in stable condition. It is understood that the house was purchased a few years ago and repairs were being done to change the aesthetics with a view to earning from a possible Airbnb business model. No motive has been established for the attack. Cops probe if man's death connected to court case. Police in Westmoreland are probing if Thursday's killing of a man in Content with Horn is connected to a case he has before the courts. The deceased, identified as 40-year-old Damian Henry, was shot dead in a brazen daylight attack. Police reports that Henry was out on bail and was returned to court on charges of wounding with intent and the breaches of the Firearms Act. This was in connection with an incident last year. It is alleged that around 10:15 a.m., Henry was standing along the roadway when he was pounced upon by a gunman who exited a motor car and opened gunfire, hitting him multiple times. The gunman then fled in the motor car. The police were alerted, and Henry was assisted to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. Police later found 10 spent casings while processing the murder scene. No suspect has been identified in connection with the killing. Rifles, ammo and ballistic vest seized in Mountain View. Detectives assigned to the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch CTOC today seized 2 rifles and several rounds of ammunition during an operation on Jakes Road in Mountain View, Kingston. A man was arrested. The police report that about 8:25 a.m., the team conducted an operation at a house and the following items were seized: 2 high-powered rifles, 28 5.56mm cartridges, 42 9mm cartridges, 1 7.26 cartridge, and 3 ballistic vests. The identity of the man in custody has been withheld pending further investigations. St. Elizabeth Police seized shotgun. A team from the St. Elizabeth Police Division seized a gun and 1 round of ammunition during an operation in Providence District, Magotty in St. Elizabeth on Thursday. The Magotty police say about 3 p.m. they signaled the driver of a Toyota Axo motor car with a male passenger on board to stop. They say he stopped the vehicle and both men ran. The vehicle was searched and a shotgun with 1 12-gauge cartridge was allegedly found in a bag on the back passenger seat. No arrest has been made in the case. Cartel takes government to court. Vibes Cartel has taken the government to court over the Department of Correctional Services DCS decision to place him in solitary confinement. The entertainer, whose given name is Adisha Palmer, has been in 23-hour day lockdown since last month. The entertainer, whose given name is Adisha Palmer, has been in a 23-hour day lockdown since last month. However, his lawyer, Isaac Buchanan, has filed documents in the Supreme Court seeking several declarations, among them being that Cartel's right to due process was breached by the correctional services as he was placed in solitary confinement without a hearing. The Minister of National Security and the Attorney General have been named as respondents to the court documents. Cartel was placed in the restrictive cell following the discovery of cell phones on a block where he was being housed at the Tower Street Adult Correctional Center in Kingston. His attorney, in a recent interview, said he has been in solitary confinement since Labor Day, May 23. He is locked up and locked away for 23 hours a day, and I can confirm that since lockdown, he has picked up an infection from the lockdown and he's been treated for that now, he said. Solitary confinement is a form of imprisonment in which the inmate lives in a single cell with little or no meaningful contact with other people. Buchanan has said that Cartel is suffering from Graves' disease, which is an autoimmune illness, and that he requires urgent medical treatment. Since the 23-hour lockdown, it is apparent that his health is deteriorating. I can speak to the fact that his neck is swollen more than usual, and that his eyes are protruding a little bit more than usual. It is clear that he is under stress when breathing, Buchanan said in a recent interview. Buchanan, in documents filed before the Supreme Court, has sought an order that would prohibit the DCS from placing Cartel in solitary confinement due to those conditions being a breach of his constitutional rights, the fact that his conviction is being appealed, and his current health conditions. The lawyer is also seeking damages for a breach of Cartel's constitutional rights, which means that the government could be required to pay money to the entertainer if the court agrees. The matter is expected to be heard next week. Man charged for allegedly breaking into church in St. Anne. A St. Catherine man was charged with sacrilege after allegedly breaking into a church in Oterias, St. Anne, and stealing items. He is 30-year-old beach attendant Mario Thomas of Innswood in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. The police say about 3 p.m. on June 6, a man securely locked the church and left. When he returned the following day, he discovered the church had been broken into and an amplifier, boombox, and other electrical items were missing. The police were alerted, and on their arrival, a group of men was seen running from the premises. An investigation was launched, and Thomas was arrested after the items were allegedly found in his possession. He was subsequently charged on Thursday. Look out for increased mosquito breeding due to rains, says MOH. As Jamaica experiences increased rainfall, the Ministry of Health and Wellness is reminding the public to expect an increase in the breeding of mosquitoes, especially those that carry diseases such as the Aedes aegypti mosquito, carriers of the dengue virus. It is important for members of the public to play their part to prevent a possible increase in the transmission of dengue by searching for and destroying all potential mosquito breeding sites in and around their surrounding, said Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jacqueline Biseso McKenzie in a media release. The Aedes aegypti mosquito breeds in any containerized environment, that is, in anything that can hold water. Some common breeding sites of the Aedes aegypti mosquito are drums, tires, buckets, and animal feeding containers. Members of the public are encouraged to search their surroundings at home and work at least once per week to ensure there is no Aedes aegypti breeding. This is the best strategy to mitigate against a possible outbreak of dengue later in the year. The public is also being encouraged to take protective action to reduce their contact with mosquitoes. Jamaica, as with the rest of the Caribbean, high dengue transmission period coincides with the hurricane season annually. In anticipation of that, the ministry will activate an enhanced public education program, home inspections, and the destroying of breeding sites by vector control workers, and island-wide fogging by the parish health departments, said Mackenzie. The health ministry says there have been no confirmed dengue cases thus far for 2023. Persons may contact their parish health department or the Ministry of Health and Wellness at 888-1-LOVE, that is 888-663-5683, with any reports or concerns. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember, like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.